All right. Okay, so we got some really fun things planned for today. We've been working on kind of the upper back and in between the shoulder blades, kind of that upper back area, and for the past couple of weeks. And let me get this cord out of the way. And these are all things, I mean, shoulders are tight, but also really good for your posture. So I don't know how many times, you've gone if you used to work in an office, kind of like the ergonomic, the posture that you're supposed to have that no one can ever remember to do, or like, it's like, why does this feel so hard, or why does this feel so impossible? And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't build the muscle strength in order to do that. So it's not your fault. It's not because you can't forget. It's because we're not like doing the exercises to really bring awareness to, sitting up like this, like what muscles those are. And we're going to work on those today. So that's going to be twofold, working on our posture as well as for kind of upper back, shoulder blades, that kind of area that can get really tight and have a lot of knots. So that's what we're going to work on today. So today, you will need some object that you can hold that's light. It could be a block, it could be a tissue box, it could be an empty water bottle, it could be a balloon, it could be a shoe, it could be a pillow, something light. Or, I mean, if you don't have that, everyone has like, or you can use a strap, a towel, a jacket, any kind of object that we're going to be able to put into our hands. So that's what we're going to focus on today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we'll go ahead and let's get moving. Let's get moving first. Let's go ahead and start out onto all fours. All fours, and start with some spinal flexion, cat-cow. So drop the chest, take the gaze up to the sky, take the tailbone up to the sky. And then dome, round. So tuck the tailbone, round, go back, and keep your arms straight, pressing down into the mat. Inhale. Drop the chest forward, roll the shoulders back and down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and dome like a cat. Inhale, drop the chest down, take the gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, dome. Now we're going to add on, you are moving your hip, your pelvic bone, but this time I want to bring some more awareness. So your pelvic bone is like a bowl of soup. I love soup. So we can tip our pelvic bowl forward, right, and get that arch in our back. And we can tip our pelvic bowl the opposite way, like tuck, like you're a little scaredy doggy, and my doggy is scared of the rain, so he tucks his tailbone like this when it rains. Actually, he just doesn't go outside. He refuses to go out on a walk when it rains. And you can tip your pelvic bowl forward, and you can tuck it back. So we'll do that, incorporating that into our cat-cow. So dropping our chest down, we're tipping our pelvic bowl forward. This is important to activate those muscles in the upper back. So tip the pelvic bowl forward, and then dome like a cat, but we're gonna scaredy dog, like put our tail in between our legs. So scaredy, I call this scaredy dog, where we tuck our tailbone. And then when you drop the chest down and take the gaze up towards the sky, we tip the pelvic bowl forward, dump the soup out. So dump the soup, scaredy dog, tuck your tailbone, tuck your tail between your legs because you're a scaredy dog. And then dump the soup out, scaredy dog. Now walk your hands forward and come down. So in like a supported plank, come scoot back so you can see. Come down in supported plank, all the way down onto your belly. Roll the shoulders 3 times back. So roll, squeeze the shoulder blades, and lift. And come back down. Roll the shoulders back. Every time you roll it back, squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the elbows together, and lift, but from your upper back. Come down. Roll the shoulders, roll the shoulders, roll the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades. This time, you want to keep the toes down, keep the feet down. You want to get the upper back involved, upper back, and float the hands up off the mat. Squeeze. This is your upper back. You got to use some muscles here. right? If this is hard, this is the muscles for your posture. So if you're wondering why it's so hard to remember to hold your posture and sit up straight, it's because we have to strengthen these muscles. And then come on down. Come onto your forearms, like Sphinx pose. So onto your forearms, draw the chest forward and drag your pelvic bone forward. So like you're trying to pull and rip the yoga mat behind you, but you're not actually moving. You want to pull the chest forward and lift. You should feel your upper back fire. The muscles in your upper back are on, because it's your upper back muscles that are helping you lift your chest. And then come all the way back down. And we're going to come back up. So same thing, Sphinx pose, roll the shoulders back and down, drag the body forward, pull your chest forward, pull the mat behind you. This is your upper back firing, upper back muscles. And come on down. So half locust pose, you can take your right hand forward, tent the fingertips like a claw. So just the fingertips are down, right arm down, left arm forward. You're going to keep the toes down. So your toes are going to have a tendency to come up. You want to keep them down. Press the right fingertips down. Press the right fingertips and lift from the upper back. Toes down. So when you press your toenails down, this forces you to use your upper back. 3, 2, 1, and down. And rest. And again. Press the right fingertips down. Lift your left arm and your upper back. Keep the toenails down. Tops of the feet are pressing down onto the ground. For 3, 2, 1, and release. Other side. So tent the left fingers down like a claw. Right arm straight. Inhale. Exhale, float. So press the left fingertips down. We're going to lift. Lift with the upper back. Lift with the upper back. Toenails down. Tops of the feet down. 3, 2, 1, and release. Inhale. Exhale, lift. 3, 2, 1, and release. And come on up and have a seat. All right. So we're going to start with, we're going to move on. We're just going to sit. How hard can that be? How hard can that be? We're going to do Dandasana staff pose. Just seated, seated. Actually, not even forward fold. We're just going to be seated pose. So you can have any number of objects. I mean, if you have, well, we'll just start with no object for now. So go ahead and have your legs extended in front of you. We don't want to be rounded, we want it to be lifted. And this position requires the strength of those upper back muscles. So just from here, we're gonna lift. Lift the heart up towards the sky. We'll start with our arms overhead. Nothing in our hands, just air. So we're gonna lift. So if this is hard on you because you have a tendency to, and I do too, to roll, to have the pelvic, scaredy dog, then you might want to elevate your hips to help you get that lift. If you have super, super tight hamstrings, we're still here with the lift. Otherwise, it's a old-fashioned elbow grease. It's just gonna have to build up that strength. So from here, lift, arms overhead. If this is too much, maybe you just take your arms out in front of you, right? But our tendency is to do this. We want to roll our shoulders back and lift. So if I was there, I would put my knee right here and force you to open up your chest and heart up towards the sky. So you can be here or here. Remember, the tendency too is to have our shoulders up by our ears, so we want to drop them down and lift. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your inner thighs. We're just sitting, I'm sweating. Are you sweating? I'm sweating. 3, 2, 1, and release. Was that hard? That was hard. All right, so you can repeat that with just air, nothing in our hands, Or you can have a couple options. You can find your nearest pillow and hold this over your head. It's gonna make it a little harder. You can take a yoga block and lift it over your head. If you have a yoga block, squeeze like you're trying to squeeze water out of a rock. If you don't have any of those things and you only have something to pull on, you're going to still increase the amount of effort your muscles are gonna work by you having to pull. So either way, you're lifting, lifting, lifting up towards the sky, squeezing your inner thighs. My legs are shaking. I'm working hard. Are you working hard? 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Whew. All right. Did you guys feel the muscles in the upper back that is working to help lift you? Right? Those muscles are the ones that are going to build strength so that there's less tightness and less of the knots in the, in that shoulder blade area. Okay. So now that we know where those muscles are, we're going to forward fold. Forward fold, but our tendency is we're going for the toes and our forward fold looks a little like this. And that's not helping us with our flexibility. It's not helping us with our strength of our upper back. So it's not about how far down you go. It's about forward. And forward for me is that way. So we're going to go forward. Lift through the heart. Heart goes forward. Collarbones forward. My pelvic bowl, I'm dumping the soup. So this is all about dumping the soup. When you dump the soup, then your upper back muscles are going to kick in. So this is me, scaredy dog. Yeah, scaredy dog. I'm dumping the soup, tipping the pelvic bowl forward, heart going forward. If you want, you can have a strap, towel, something to help you lift and pull, or you can grab your feet, but I'm lifting. Less rounding or no rounding. This is not about getting your nose to your knees. It doesn't matter if you get your nose to your knees. I'm working harder here than I am here. So here is about lifting and strengthening your upper back muscles. Dump the soup bowl, dump the soup bowl. I'm going to take 3 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, chest is forward. I'm dumping the soup bowl. My thighs are working hard. My upper back is working hard. Inhale, exhale, heart's going forward. Dumping the soup bowl. My upper back is working hard for 3, 2, 1, and release. Release, release. Whew, I'm awake. I'm awake. All right, so we're going to come to standing, and we're going to change it up. We're going to still find those muscles. So take a wide-legged forward fold. Take your legs out wider than hips width apart. Inhale, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Have your object with you. So either that's your block, your strap, your towel, a pillow. And if you don't have anything, it could just be air. It could be air. So we'll start everyone with nothing in the hands right now. Inhale, coming all the way back up, arms by the ears. So essentially, we're going to do what we just did seated, but standing. We're going to come down halfway. So this is what we were doing. Our tendency is to then round our back, but we know we don't do that. We lift the arms above the ears. Nothing's in the hand. Reach the arms above the ears. Heart goes forward. Heart goes forward. So what's holding up your arms is your upper back muscle. Squeeze the inner thighs. Dump the soup. Your pelvic bowl, dump the soup. Dump the soup and hold. Here. 5, 4. Lift the arms up higher. 3, 2, 1. Oh, forward fold, release. That should be pretty intense in your upper back. All right, inhale. Now, you can repeat that. You can repeat that with just air, nothing in your hands, or guess where we're going with this? You can add an object, a block, a pillow. So a block, you're going to squeeze. A pillow, you'll just hold. If you squeeze a pillow, you kind of smush the pillow. Block, you squeeze. A strap, you pull, or a towel, you pull. But you're going to add and engage more muscles. So grab your object, whichever it may be. Inhale, flat back. Yeah, the chest shines forward, heart shines forward. Reaching the arms above the ears. Squeeze the inner thighs. 5, 4, squeeze the block. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Whew. Release, release, release. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Okay. Bend the knees, take a wide-legged squat. Reach the arms forward. So stretching out the back. Stretching out the back. Reach the tailbone towards the back behind you. Reach the fingertips forward. Exhale. Straighten the legs. Shift the weight forward. Wide-legged forward fold, flat back. Exhale, round. Wide-legged squat. Reach the tailbone. So it's like tug of war between your tailbone and your fingertips. Sink your hips way back behind you. Straighten out the legs. Shift the weight forward. Squat. Straighten out the legs. Nice. And then turn to the right foot, come all the way, come to high plank, come all the way down into the belly. All the way down into the belly for nap time. Now, we're gonna Dhanurasana. So we will, actually we'll do Sphinx pose. So we'll come back to Sphinx pose, but adding on, here, I'll come this way. So Sphinx pose on our forearms, tops of the feet down, roll the shoulders, drag the body forward, but bend the knees. Toes reaching towards your head, but draw the chest forward. And your upper back muscles should be kicking on more. Straighten out the legs, tuck the chin. Come forward, Sphinx pose, lift the chest, bend the knees, lift. So keep reaching the heart forward. And release. Shift the hips back to child's pose. Around. Walk the fingertips away from you. Really set your chest down. Take your knees out wider. Come forward. So for half bow. So adding on to what we were doing earlier, right hand tense, right, left hand reaches behind you. So you can either repeat what we did before, which is to lift, tops of the feet down, reach your left arm forward, or you can swing your left arm around, grab your left foot, kick the foot into the hand, and lift. So half bow, and release. Inhale, exhale, kick the foot into the hand again on this side, same side, kick. Focusing, so using your left foot to kick into the left hand to lift you up, and then also using your upper back muscles, and release, and then switching sides. Left hand down, so you can repeat by reaching your right arm forward, pressing your left fingers down, or you can swing your right hand around to your right foot, flex the right foot, kick. So you're gonna use the strength of your, what would this be, your hamstrings and your foot to lift, and then your upper back to help you lift. My left, top of the left foot is down. For 3, 2, and 1. And release. And kick again. Inhale, kick. Kick, 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 kick. We're opening through our right shoulder. We're strengthening our upper back. We're pressing our belly into the ground to help us lift more. And release. And then sit it back. Child's pose. And then when you're ready, come onto your back. For bridge pose, so plant the feet onto the ground. Tuck the tailbone, scaredy dog. Lift the hips, interlace the hands, weeble wobble the shoulders underneath you. Lift the hips up towards the sky. You're using your upper back muscles to press your rib cage up higher. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the inner thighs. Hips up high. Your glutes are working. Your upper back's working to press your chest up towards the sky. Release the hands. Slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. And then 2 more rounds of bridge pose like that. Tuck the tailbone, lift the hips. Get the hips up high, squeeze the inner thighs together. Release and press the knees forward as you roll down one vertebra at a time to create more space in between each bone in your spine. As we get older, we get shorter, that whole gravity thing, you know, pulling down our spine. And so to kind of create more space, when we roll down our spine, the more we point our knees pressing towards the wall in front of you, the more we're stretching out and creating more space. Yeah? So even if you measure your height at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, there can be a tiny difference because you've been standing all day. So we kind of decompress the spine. So hug your knees into your chest and kind of massage and rock out kind of your mid back that we've been using. And you can come onto all fours. Inhale. So all fours, inhale, float the right arm, thread it through underneath your left arm and come down. Place your right ear down. You can stay here, crawl your left hand forward and kind of get a twist. Optionally, you can swing your left arm behind your back. Find the front of your right thigh. You can press down. If you want more of a stretch, you can press down into your right shoulder on the back of the right hand, back of the right arm. And come back up. Float the left arm, thread it through. Come down onto your left ear. Walk the right hand forward. Twist underneath. Press. So my whole left arm and back of the hand is pressing into the ground, into the mat to get deeper into my shoulder. And optionally, you can swing your right hand behind your back, finding the front of your left hip. And release. And come and have a seat. Inhale. Exhale, drawing hands down to heart center. Rolling out the neck. Changing directions. Taking your hands down to your lap. Shrugging the shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And drop. Inhale. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the shoulders up to your ears. And drop. One more time. Squeeze, 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 squeeze as hard as you can. And drop. Pressing your sit bone into the earth, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale. Bowing forward. Namaste.